In this video, we're going to look at how to solve quadratic equations when we need to first rearrange them to solve them. Now, the most important thing with quadratic equations is that they rely on the fact that if you have two brackets multiplied and they're equal to 0, then one of the brackets must be 0. So either A equals 0 or bracket B equals 0, and that's what we have to solve. Important for this is the fact that they are equal to 0. This only works if the two brackets multiplied equals 0. So if we have a quadratic which is not equal to 0, we first need to rearrange it so that it is equal to 0 before we factorize. So let's look at two examples. We have x squared plus 3x equals 28. So the first thing we need to do is make this equal to 0 so we can factorize and solve it. To do that, we have x squared plus 3x, and then we take the 28 from this side and take it away from both sides, so we take it from the left hand side as well, and now we're left with equals 0. Now we can factorize into two brackets because we have a quadratic which is equal to 0. It's x and x. They multiply to give minus 28 and have a difference of 3, so it's going to be 7 and 4. And we need plus 3x, so we need the 7 to be bigger, minus the 4. And that gives us our final answers of x equals 4 and x equals minus 7. In our second example, we have 5x squared equals 3x plus 2. Once again, we need this to be equal to 0 before we can solve it. So we need to rearrange the equation first. So we have 5x squared, and then we want to take all of this and subtract it to get it on the other side. So we have minus 3x minus 2, and that is equal to 0. Now we can factorize, and to get 5x squared we need 5x and x. To get minus 2 we're going to have 1 and 2, and if we have 5 times 2 we're going to be too far away from the 3, so it's going to be 5 times 1, and we need that to be minus 5 plus 2 to give us the minus 3x we need, giving us final answers of x equals minus 2 over 5 and x equals 1. So that's the most important thing when we're dealing with quadratics, is that we must have the quadratic in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. It must be equal to 0 so that the factorization works.